Hail Internet, it's Paul, it's Matt, the Dork Lords. Today, we're talking about Episode 7, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Season 3 on Paramount+. The episode entitled, What is Starfleet? We open with the introduction to a documentary entitled, oddly, What is Starfleet? Made by Ortegas' brother, Beto. The question posed by the documentary appears to be, how militaristic is the seemingly benevolent Starfleet? We end with a montage of the crew describing how Starfleet improved their lives.
Yes, and surprisingly coming to the conclusion that they're pretty good.
They're
Starfleet.
pretty good. Yeah, exactly.
Shockingly.
Shocking. It's a shocking expose. Spock was free to explore his humanity without the racism that exists on Vulcan. Ortega sees the crew as her family, giving her strength. Uhura credits Starfleet with giving her purpose after her parents died. Anyway, and so, yes, as you say, Beto decides Starfleet is a laudable organization. A+ on his I don't know what that project was going to be. Is that a turned-in project? Are they going to broadcast it?
Who knows?
Who knows? But in any case, documentary complete. All that said, Paul.
Matt.
What'd you think of Episode 7?
I didn't like it.
Okay.
I didn't think it was really irritating me, the ways in which this was a very poor documentary. Okay. You know, these weird cuts and the way that the camera was just up. It's like, okay, I know you want to make it look different than how it typically looks, but I feel like all these cameras that are up on people, they're not giving perspective. It's all this like, oh, you are there stuff. And
I'll point out, too, you called out Beto a few episodes ago, noting that he was a terrible documentarian.
Yes,
you were like,
yes.
Why is he asking for multiple takes?
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so you saw this coming is my point.
Yes,
okay.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, so certainly I guess there must be documentarians who narrate themselves, so it really is their voice. God, the whole tone of his. Now we learn that he's really mad that Erica's life is in danger now. Oh,
yeah.
and that curse, that Starfleet that is putting her life in danger. So yeah, no, I didn't like it.
I will say I've seen some Trekkies respond very well to this episode, and among them is Thomas, longtime friend of the channel, commenter whose opinion I value quite highly, actually. He thinks this is arguably the best episode of the series. So he's and he's not alone in appreciating the episode.
Wow.
But I'm a little more like you in that I have some issues. I mean, there's things to like about it.
Yeah, there are things to like about it.
The premise is pretty solid. You mentioned it kind of reminds you, I think when we were talking before this, that reminds you of like an episode of MASH where they did like what is this project and is this worthwhile kind of thing.
Yeah. Thankfully, though, that wasn't, didn't have to deal with the personality of the person telling the story.
Yes,
it was just like, here they are saying what they feel.
You're absolutely right that Beto is the problem with this episode. Yeah, you're right. The premise is fine. The examination of the nature of Starfleet as told through the crew's own words, I think that's a solid.
If you're going to have someone who is going to be skeptical of Starfleet, I would want him to have a more skeptical demeanor throughout the whole time we've seen him. Not like, I'm just a goofy little brother.
It's my biggest issue with this is how quickly it gets dismissed. It was like there was a single conversation where Uhura was like, look, isn't really the problem that you feel like Starfleet, your sister's devotion to Starfleet takes priority over her relationship with you, and then it puts her in dangerous situations. And he's like, yeah, you're right. Anyway, they're great. You guys are great. Like, don't. These are real questions. I mean, I think there's genuine questions, legit questions to be had about how militaristic and political Starfleet is. Yeah. Yes, okay, we see the crew aboard the Enterprise being empathetic, well-meaning individuals exploring space. Yes. But we've seen several examples throughout Trek of Starfleet ship captains and ship crews that use Starfleet's resources to exploit other life forms and planets. So whether or not Starfleet is benevolent comes down to the personalities of the individuals making the choices. Sure. Oversight isn't really a strong suit for Starfleet. You're like, I hope this guy's a nice guy. Oh, cross your... Oh, he's not. Oh, well. So, yeah, it just... I would have liked that question to linger a little more. Even in this episode, we don't exactly... Like, we see, the secret footage of Pike talking to Command, some admiral or something, and where that gets part of it gets redacted. But they're basically on board with the idea of we're transporting this sentient weapon to these folks to do this thing. And I'm like, what if? I think it was a little convenient that the Jakaro's like, please let me die. Okay, great.
Yeah.
What if it hadn't said that?
Thanks. That really helps us out a lot.
You solve our problems. Because otherwise, what are you going to, continue on your mission and deliver it to Lutani? You wouldn't want to. Pike doesn't want to, but I don't know. Or do you let it be and then it goes around killing its enemy? I don't know. I mean,
I'm not sure why, because they said, it's too far gone, and so it wants to kill itself, and so they don't even deal with that. Where it's sort of like, okay, just let this creature kill itself.
Yeah, it just was very handy that it wanted to commit suicide.
Yeah. Like, why couldn't it be like, we're sending someone to help with, undoing some of the damage that this has done. And maybe we can establish some sort of relations between this group of people now, or not people, I mean, they're creatures, but still, they're sentient, then we can have a relationship.
Now, they do protect the eggs, I believe was the implication. They're not going to let the Lutani go But they did say they were going to keep aiding the Lutani. Now, I get it. They were being attacked, and they've got issues there. But there's also the sense of like, what you just did is you tortured this creature, and then we're gonna so there should be some Starfleet doesn't approve kind of thing about that. Sure. But that said, the plot line involving the Jakaru and honoring its request to die, I thought it ended up being a fairly moving scene. So I would give that as another plus to the
that part was okay.
Yeah. But just to say, it's Ortegas' brother is the problem with this episode.
Yeah.
Not only the fact that it's like, it's this weird thing you have about your sister and her relation to Starfleet that made you want to do a hit piece. Okay, that's weird. But also just, he's kind of a creep. Okay, we've seen for a few episodes now that Beto and Uhura are either in a relationship or at the beginning of one. They're becoming close. We saw them flirting a few episodes back and all that. Yeah. So first there's Beto's completely unethical style of documentary filmmaking. He's pretending to have a personal moment with Uhura, and then he tries to manipulate her into saying something controversial while using a hidden camera that she then sees and is like, what the hell? And that's pretty gross. And if I was Uhura, I think that relationship would be over at that point. But if not then it would be when Beto knowingly reveals to Uhura on camera that her former Academy roommate was killed by the Gorn just to get her reaction on camera.
Yeah.
You're like, that just doesn't speak well for this guy.
No.
Really.
No, it doesn't.
Asking Pike what it feels like to kill someone. Like that.
Yeah.
So he comes off as a bit of a creep anyway, and then you get this thing with, I was just doing a hit piece. I had an axe to grind, and I was all wrong. And Starfleet is just 100% awesome. All right, let's all go have tea. And
I can go either way. Yeah.
I mean, I think what's probably going to happen is we're going to see another episode here before the end of the season, where Uhura and Beto are together. And I'm like, please don't. They should that should have been a deal breaker right there, and just in terms of how he exploited her for a film.
What they wanted it to be.
Yeah, I had some issues with it too, and for folks like Thomas, I'm glad that this episode spoke so well to you.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're right that there are interesting things there, but maybe if they had actually taken actual events and not something that just occurred for that, and then, you
Yeah.
have to wonder whether or not, I mean, one thing that you could say that, I mean, certainly it's establishing new ground because it is a media presentation that's not, Federation generated. So yeah, I can't think of one before this. Without, I guess, the possible exception of Hollow Suites or something. But even still, this was supposed to be, reflective of, you could say, I mean, it's something that, yeah, is more representative of the culture and that it's criticizing Starfleet. But yeah, since it's about Starfleet, then not much is revealed other than,
Right.
stuff about that. So yeah, it's hard to see it how it functions in the way that it did. It just it did neither very well.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. Well, again, I think the premise is strong. I like the Jakaru plot line. I do feel like it's, as you summed it up quite well, that we were just like, if it hadn't been for Ortegas's brother, if it was just like with MASH, where it was just like, we don't see the person behind the camera, we don't, that personality is not a personality, it's just we get the day-to-day lives of these
Yeah.
people without this very in your face point of view from the cameraman, who then within that course of that episode is revealed to be, conniving, essentially. You're like, ha 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 ha, I'm the problem. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I don't think I was completely up on this episode, but we will be back talking about episode 8. And after a bit of a debate on whether to go with Peacemaker or Alien Earth, we decided we're going to throw in our lot with Alien Earth and try to catch up a little bit, because a few episodes have come by already. And we're going to go with the Alien Earth route as well. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, thank you as always, Paul. I appreciate it, good sir.
No problem.
And we'll talk to everybody next time. Bye!
Bye.